on the KPI tile, I'm going to select team as a dimension or measure. So here the count of team has been shown over here. When we go to the properties, first is the general settings tab, where we can add the label. I'm adding a label team, changing the label color and font size. Similarly, we can give a different color to the value and a different font to the value as well. The primary value axis shows different kind of formatting for the value. Here we can input different type of currencies. We can change that to million, thousands, the denomination of the value. We can add precision, which defines the number of decimal places. We can exclude it from the global filter. I am also adding a view filter on based on team. So when I save this view, here we have the filter icon through which I can select different teams. I can even change its name. And optionally, I can also write a description. So the next type of KPI tile which we are discussing is KPI comparative tile. Over here I am dragging previous CTC. So this is the sum of the previous CTC. Now again, going back to the properties tab, first section we have is the general settings, where I'm again giving this a label, changing the label color and font accordingly. Now here is view filter. I am choosing gender. The primary value properties are the properties for the dimension or measure which we have dragged, and the secondary value properties is for a secondary value which has to be defined. For that we will go to the actions tab and go to the customs field. So in the custom fields we are going to click new. We can add a title, and say for example I'm giving this value of 400k and save this custom field. Now if we go back to design, what we get under the secondary value properties is the custom field which we had just created. I can go ahead and change its font size, its format type, currency, and now moving on to the rule section. Rule section is where we can define a particular rule. For example, here I have chosen primary value should be greater than secondary value, and I am giving a primary color which would be added to the primary value and secondary color which would be added to the secondary value. Similarly, I am also going to show up a trend. Here I am showing a uptrend with a green color. So whenever we need to define a trend or a particular rule can be defined. I'm going to change its name and save this view. Now moving on, we are going to go to the third type of KPI tile, which is the spark line. So basically we are going to drag a dimension. For example, I have chosen team and I'm trying to show the monthly salary. So here I can change its aggregation type, give it a display name which would be displayed on the tooltip. Again, I can go to the general settings and give this a label, change the label's color, font. So once this is done, the next type of KPI which we are using is the column chart. Again, I'm dragging team as dimension, as monthly salary as the measure. This is also done. So these are the different type of KPI tiles in Business Story.